Hey, it's Joe Amoia, founder and creator of GPSforlove.com. In our last video, we talked about the worst dating and relationship advice you could possibly get. Well, today I wanted to create a video that did the exact opposite, that gave you the best dating relationship advice. So I was like sitting back and if I was single again, and I was back at that point in my life where I was struggling, what is it that I would want to know? What is it that I would need to know that would make a huge difference? So now that I'm further down the road and I'm in one of those great relationships, which is why I created GPS for Love, is I wanted to be able to share with you what I've learned that will help you on your journey. I sat back and said, well, what is it? And so it like came to me. It's like, you know what? If I could say one thing, it's to help you realize, stop listening to everybody else. See, everybody else has an opinion. There is no right way to find love. And that's the beauty of life. That's the beauty of the journey, is that what worked for me, I found my wife on the internet. I found her through Match.com, and that worked for me. And my sister actually met her husband in a bar, and they have a great relationship. They're great parents. They're great partners. So, I've had friends who've met in bowling alleys, on the train, at work, through friends, through blind dates. That's the beauty of life. There are so many ways to find the love of your life. Now, I know some of you are thinking, yeah, but what do I do? Should I go bowling? Should I go to a singles event? Should I go on Match.com? Like, where do I go? What do I do? And so here's the key. It's not what you're doing, okay? Because what worked for me might not work for you. What worked for my sister isn't going to work for you. What worked for my friend isn't going to work for you. There's the right and perfect way that is going to take you exactly where you need to go. And the way to do that is to focus more on who you're being. Are you being the person that's going to attract that person, that's going to create the result? So you've got to get crystal clear. If you're going to spend the rest of your life with someone and get married or have that long-term relationship, if that's your goal, then you got to get clear is, what does that look like? How will I know that guy? How will I recognize that guy when he comes along? Just because there's great chemistry, as you know, doesn't mean that it's going to be a successful relationship. How will I know when that guy shows up, when that relationship shows up? How do I differentiate that? And the good news about it is you have something called a gut. You have something called an intuition. You want to call it your higher self, your spirit. I don't care what you call it. That's for you to decide. But there's this internal guiding mechanism, this internal GPS that's always leading you, and you need to listen to it and work with it. So if your gut is saying, you know what, you deserve better. The guy's an asshole. He has no integrity. He doesn't show up. He just uses you for what's between your legs. Well, you know what? You got to listen to that, and you've got to walk away, even if it's scary, even if you believe I might not find somebody else. One of the things I've seen in this journey is that those who create the great relationships are willing to walk away from the good relationships, from the mediocre relationships, and they run from the toilet bowl crappy relationships. See, I always say the quality of your relationship is directly related to the quality of your choices and decisions. Simply put, you made real good choices, real good decisions, it'll lead to really good results. Now, I know some of you are watching go, yeah, but, I gave this guy my heart and, he shit all over me. And I was like, yeah, I get that. I hear it all the time, trust. But if you go back and look at it, did you give the right person your heart? Weren't there signs pretty much from the beginning that he wasn't giving you what you consistently needed in some area of your life? He may have given you some things, but was he giving you everything? And see, that's why it's so important to get clear. One of the biggest things that made a difference in my life that helped me to create that relationship, and with many of the women that I personally work with, is we get clear, crystal clear. What is it? What is it that you need if you're going to spend the rest of your life with someone? Excuse me. What is it that you absolutely positively must have? And when you get clear and you get honest and you listen to your gut and you make those tough choices and decisions, then the journey becomes so much easier. See, I say it's kind of like this. There's this flow to life, and life is like a river. And if you flow with it, it's easier. It's enjoyable. Yeah, you got to make some tough choices and decisions. Things show up in your path. But then you simply recognize, you listen to your gut, you listen to your heart, you make those choices, decisions, you go around those obstacles, and eventually you get to where you need to go. Or you can swim against the current and you can swim upstream. And it's just exhausting. We've all been in those relationships where you're trying to make it work. You're trying to make that square peg fit in a round hole. You're trying to do everything for that person. You're trying to sacrifice. You're putting your needs on the back burner to make the relationship work and make them happy, and think you're going to get to a place where you're going to be happy, and it never works. So that's why you have your gut. That's why you have your intuition. It's designed to take you where you're meant to go. And when you do that, when you do these things and you just be that person, when the time is right, that right person will show up in your life. And that's what we call faith. And I know it's hard to do that. It's hard to believe in something that may possibly happen, especially when we're basing our future on all the crap that's happened in the past. But you got to be able to let go of that. That's why you focus on those who have succeeded, those who have the great relationship, and you model them. You learn what they've done. Stop taking advice from people who are single, who are in crappy relationships, and who don't know what the hell they're talking about. It's really that simple. You know, one of my mentors once told me, if you want to succeed in anything in life, simply find somebody who's much better at it than you are and learn from them. And then you simply take it on, you try it on, you see if it works. If it does, you use it. If not, you throw it away. So I know I threw a lot at you. I know this is a little heavy today, but again, you know, the holidays come, and I know for some of you watching, you're going to be lonely. You know, you're going to be missing somebody. You're going to be afraid that you're never going to have another holiday to share with someone you love. This may be your first holiday that you're without someone because of a recent breakup. And I get that, but I want you to realize is that this time next year, you could actually be looking back, celebrating, saying, you know what, I found him. And I'm so blessed to have that relationship that I've ultimately wanted. I know you can have it, but it's up to you and who you're being to make it happen. So I'd love to hear from you. I'm sure you've got some questions. I'm sure you've got some concerns. I'm sure some of you are going to like, you know what, this is a bunch of BS. I don't agree. Cool. Let us know. I want to hear from you because we want to shine light on where you're going wrong and what you need to do to create that relationship that you desire and deserve. As always, it's an honor and privilege. I'll see you next time. Much love.